Jeremy, is it an angry bunch this week, the Gloucester squad?
I'm not sure. Angry, very determined. I feel we've started really well in the first round and felt like we're taking good strides forward, and I still feel like we've been doing that, but probably just maybe mentally or something just hasn't really clicked that well in the last two games. But I feel like we're really determined to go out there and make sure we start, putting the efforts in that we're capable of.
And what is it that's missing? Is it just being switched on from the first whistle?
Yeah, it looked a little bit like that against Leicester on the weekend. We weren't very happy with that first 40 minutes, obviously, but I thought we bounced back really well in that second half and started to play the sort of rugby that we want to play. And with Johan here, he sort of breaking away from what Gloucester's been doing the last few seasons, and it's taken a while to break that mould. But I think once we get everyone on the same page, working the same way, I think we'll see big strides forward.
And that style of game that he wants to play, is that sort of music to your ears in some ways, of actually that faster paced game which is more associated, if you like, with the Southern Hemisphere?
Yeah, I guess it probably maybe just a little bit more a clear understanding from my point of view, and maybe some of the other boys that have come up from the Southern Hemisphere, of the style and maybe just the mindset of what comes first, sort of thing. So I guess at home we look to play before we kick a few times, so just kind of changing the way we think a little bit. We're having a couple of cracks, and then if it's not on, then we can still kick on our terms and put teams under pressure, but hopefully try to break them down with a good pass or stretch them to the width, and then if it's not on, we can still kick down those channels or turn them around somehow.
Have you changed your conditioning at all to suit that? Because a lot of people are saying in pre-season maybe it's just a tighter shirt. I don't know, but Jeremy Thrush is looking very, very trim and in shape.
I'm not sure trim. I've tried to put on a little bit of weight in the last two seasons. I felt I was a little bit too light to play the rugby over here. But no, I do feel fit. I've had a good proper pre-season this time round. I was battling a little bit last season with all that, so it's great to have that under my belt. And then just, I guess, the sort of style of pre-season that we've done a lot of work with the forwards of trying to make it a little bit more game realistic, a lot of scrummaging, a lot of stuff, and then getting up and going from there. So I think that's really benefited for me in the first part of the season.
Yeah, and your 2 tries as well against Exeter. So if you can continue that at Kingsholm this week, happy days.
Yeah, obviously it'll be good to get a couple more. Obviously enjoy getting my hands on the ball and being able to run with it a little bit. So hopefully I can keep that going a little bit.
What is the mood in terms of taking on Worcester? Because Johan's obviously very focused on what Gloucester do and not about the opposition. How easy is it to actually ignore Worcester in that respect, of they are another team who are fully capable of coming here and beating you if you're not on your day, but not sort of worrying about them specifically?
No, obviously I feel like we've in the past maybe we've given teams a bit too much respect, and not in a bad way. Like, I think a lot that we focus a lot on what another team's going to bring, instead of maybe just focusing on what we need to do and how we do it and execute it to be able to go out there and put in a good performance. It's not saying we don't have a look at the teams that we're playing at all, but I just feel like if we can focus more on our individuals and our team culture and how we want to go out there and execute a game, I feel like we'll be able to put in a lot more consistent performances. Just change this, another thing of just trying to change the mindset of how we approach week by week and team by team.
And back in town with Ed Slater last Saturday, how was that?
Oh, it was good. You could tell he was out there wanting to put a few on his old teammates, and he looked like he was really enjoying himself, and it's good to play with whoever, but he has a little bit of local knowledge of the team we played last weekend, so it was enjoyable. Yeah.